Hi, welcome to Simple Squared. I'm John Chase, and I'm going to show you how to cook a simple piece of fish today. First thing we need to do is get our stove warmed up, get the burner on. I have a cast iron skillet here, and the reason I like to use these is they hold the heat for a long time. They heat up very evenly, and so we're not going to have hot spots that'll burn parts of the fish and parts that are going to be cold and not cook. So we're just going to set this on the heat, let it start to warm up. We want to put a little oil in the pan. That's going to help transfer our heat to the fish. And we're also going to add a little piece of butter to the pan. That's going to give us a nice tasty butter flavor. This way we don't need too much butter while we cook the fish. You can see that's starting to sizzle up nicely. We have some flour here. We're going to put this on a plate. We want to season our flour because it's going to add flavor to the fish as well as give us a nice brown crust. So I'm going to add some salt, pretty good bit of salt, and we're going to add some ground pepper, a little bit of that. There we go. I'm going to stir this all together and make sure we have enough salt and pepper in there that we're actually going to get flavor on the fish. Right here we have a piece of flounder that we've caught earlier today. And it's been filleted. We washed it in some salted water, and it's been dried with a towel. Just pull this off the heat for a second. That's nice and hot. Okay, so we're going to take our fish, dust it in the flour. You see it has a nice light coating. We're just going to shake off the excess. Pan goes back on the heat. We take our fish, goes right in the pan. And that's just going to cook very quickly. There we go. The faster the better with a nice thin piece of fish like this. We want it to cook quickly. That way we're going to get a nice brown coating on the outside and it's going to be moist on the inside. We're not going to have an overcooked piece of fish that has kind of a gray looking exterior. We want it to be really nice and crisp. So we'll just take a little peek at it. You see we're starting to get a little browning. That's what we want. Cooking away. There we go. The reason we've added the butter to the pan really adds a lot of flavor to the fish, but butter burns pretty easily. So by adding the oil, we raise the smoking point of the butter, and it keeps it from burning easily. So our fish is almost done here. We just have another minute or two to go, and then it's going to come out of the pan. The trick to cooking a piece of fish is that you don't want to overcook the fish. So what we're going to do is take the fish out of the pan actually right before it's finished. And what's going to happen is the heat that's in the fish from it being in the pan is actually going to finish the cooking once it's off the heat. And it will give us a perfectly cooked piece of fish that's nice and moist on the inside. So you have a plate here to put it on. And I have a little piece of paper towel here. We're going to use that to catch the leftover oil so that we don't have a greasy piece of fish. And it's going to be really tasty. And there we go. I think we're just about ready to take it out of there. There we go. Put it on the plate. We'll get our pan off the heat. Turn the flame off. We'll blot our piece of fish. Take it off the paper towel. And there we have it, a nice piece of fried fish, sweet and delicious, straight from the ocean. Wasn't that simple? I mentioned earlier that we want to pull the fish out of the pan right before it's finished cooking, and we're going to let the residual heat finish the job. And I just want to show you that when we lift this piece of fish up, it actually is fully cooked. See the way it breaks apart and flakes, but it's nice and juicy inside. There's nothing like a fresh piece of fish straight from the ocean, sweet and delicious. I'm going to take a little bite here. That's so good and so simple. One of the reasons that we like to add fat to the pan, like oil or butter, is to help transfer the heat from the pan to the food. Food tends to have a rough exterior, and most of it is actually not in contact with the pan. So by adding the oil, it helps it cook faster.